I know I made a pledge after the final shape campaign was done and we moved more into the episodic content that I was going to begin to play other games. When I say I just play, when I say I just play Destiny in all my previous episodes these years, I really mean it. Even though it's taken me it's kind of taken as a meme to some degree, I really only had time to play in the Destiny verse. So as I have built up an enormous catalog of games I was hoping to play, quote, one day, now I've finally come to grips on how much I do have in my backlog. You guys ready for this? On Steam, I have Doom Eternal, Jedi Fallen Order, Elden Ring, Age of Empires 2, which, in all fairness, that's a throwback game I've always played. XCOM, Enemy Unknown, Fallout New Vegas, The Witcher Wild Hunt, and City Skylines. And that's not even a complete list. On my PS5, I have Fortnite because of Elmer Fudd. Warhammer 40K, Space Marine 2. I've bought that game.
Let's go,
Black
baby.
Myth Wukong I have. No Man's Sky I talked about in a past episode. That's all I can fit on my hard drive. So the games that are on my stored library that I'll have to re-download, Apex Legends, Bloodborne, Warzone, Days Gone, Death Stranding, Demon Souls, Dirt 5, Far Cry 5, Final Fantasy X, Ghosts of Tsushima, the latest God of War, Godfall, Hell Let Loose, Elder Scrolls Online, Stray, that was a free game, Warframe, the latest Horizon Zero Dawn, Remnant 2, which I saw a lot of good cool stuff about, Baldur's Gate 3, haven't touched, and I did get Diablo 4 soccer. I did get Diablo 4. Haven't played it. And I got this really cool roguelike called Eternal.
Yeah.
I had 1 hour of gameplay on that one, by the way. See what I mean? So, it's funny. I read a study about the last decade of gaming, and an interesting statistic came up that kind of blew my mind. According to the study, the population of gamers and hours played per month have been about the same from a decade ago. But the thing that surprised me is that they also found that these gamers played fewer games overall. With all the outstanding near photorealistic games out there, how can this be? With so much content to choose from, I would think there would be one, more players, and two, more variation of games being played. But what I found from this study is that we all tend to stick to our core games that we feel comfortable with and just push all the others to that later category, right? I mean, I got to think about this. I really wonder how game developers are trying to get our very short attention span to focus on that new game that they have coming out, that's also a live service with game passes and unlocks and currencies, new story content, seasonal and special events. I mean, I really feel for developers today trying to break into our core gaming environments and our routines. As more and more new players and games come out these days, I realize one thing. I'm never going to finish this backlog. Ever. If you do the math, I just don't have enough free time to play all this stuff. And don't get me wrong, I truly want to play these games, but what I think holds me back, if I really think about it, is that
grinding to other counts. Oh, sorry.
Well, that too, but it's that I really get comfortable mastering one or two games, the controls, the timing, the knowledge of the ecosystem, the economies, not to mention the lore and story these games present to us. I don't know, but as I think about it more, I really start getting overwhelmed. So I had a question for you two, since you both seem to balance playing several games at once all the time. What is it, guys? What do you do, or what is your thought process going into more than just a couple games? Whoever wants to talk, it's up to you guys.
Well, the cool thing with the majority of the list of games you put out is a lot of them are like a single player campaign experience. So at least for those,
that is true.
It's an exact allotted amount of time to sit down and just get through that, which is great.
Right.
But there are plenty of games on there, Warframe. There was a couple more on that. Elder Scrolls Online, you were saying there's a couple more games that, like Destiny, you have to have time to really grind to get to that end game content and everything. And yeah, that's where it gets tough, balancing all the game time. I do play a ton of games, but I usually have one that you're hyper focused and grinding in, and then the other ones I play are kind of ones you can kind of pop in and out of whenever, like Fortnite, where you're like, I'll play a couple rounds tonight with a couple people, or Helldivers, where you can jump in and do an operation here and there. But yeah, no, it's it's like you were saying, man, it's tough to have as many games as we have coming out that you can kind of lightly focus on, but people are trying to get you to hard focus on just their own individual game.
Yeah. What'd you think,
I
Gator?
mean, yeah. I mean, I pretty much with FUD. Like right now, I'm hyper focused on Mass Effect 3 because I've got a reason to finish it, and get done with it. So, but most single player games, I'm going to play them, get to a point where I feel safe. Like there's a couple single player games I've played while Destiny's going on the story. I'll pick one day out of the week. Okay, Tuesday is reset. I'm gonna go do the story stuff. When I'm done with it, jump back to my single player game. You know, do whatever I got to do in Destiny and be done. If it takes 1-2 days, and then jump back on the single player game. I used to be like Destiny only. You can ask Fudd because he's asked me plenty of times to play stuff, and I'd be like, "Nah, I'm doing this in Destiny. I'm doing this and that." And finally, I was like, "You know what? I'm gonna branch out and try to play something else." And as soon as I did, it was like, "Yep, Destiny's not my main game no more. It is, but it's not the one I'm going to do every night. There's no reason to." So,
Well, and something else you were mentioning, Todd, sorry to cut you off.
No,
but,
please.
You know, how you're mentioning how you feel, you know, safe and secure, and, you know, you're used to how one game, obviously I only play Destiny, right? Yeah, you're comfortable, you know, and that's the other tough part for these game developers is like, how do you make your game different, but at the same time, it has to be same enough that people feel comfortable coming into that. Learning a new game, especially like me jumping around, I enjoy learning a new game.
Yeah.
But that's a skill set from being used to jumping into new games. If you've been in the same thing forever, whether it's Destiny or World of Warcraft, Final Fantasy 14, and, you know, any of these, if Fallout was 76, whatever, you
Fallout
know.
New Vegas. I've never played that one. I played the one before.
Yeah.
Fallout 4, I think. Yeah. I liked it. I enjoyed it.
Yeah. But, you know, and that's another real tough part is that, like, if you're very used to where you're comfortable is making that jump to going, all right, I know I'm gonna have to learn something new. And that feels weird. Like, I mean, that's a big struggle I've had with a lot of people with Space Marines 2, which we were discussing, you know. I've had a lot of friends get into that, and it's just so different because it's kind of you know, you're in these big armor suits, so it's kind of a clunkier thing. It feels more like an Xbox 360 game in the best way, right? But I know a lot of people are struggling to get used to those kind of mechanics, and so they've kind of just backed away from the game. You know, I totally get it.
You know, and I'll think about it like this. I'll be working all day. I mean, I'm slammed right now. I get home.
Yeah.
I got basically from 10 o'clock to 1 a.m. to play. And then I watch a show and then I go to bed. That's my routine. And either I'll jump on like last night, I jumped on and played, or Wednesday, I actually jumped on and played Iron Banner till 1 a.m. Had a good time, played with the community, had a lot of fun. And, you know, I'm doing stuff I love to do and that I've not excelled at, but I've gotten comfortable and to the point where I like competing in PvP and Crucible and Destiny. And let's face it, man, it is such a feel good shooter playing in the Crucible. I did jump in and play the Black Ops 6 was it the beta, the weekend beta? Beta over the weekend. And
how'd you like that?
It all came back to me. I pretty much, I love the Omni movement, the diving and shooting and the backwards diving and stuff. I love that stuff. As in Battlefield, that's all I do is dive down to the ground. Man, I miss Battlefield. I really miss Battlefield. And then, you know, I've heard that there are some inklings now of Lampella or Zampella talking about he's now in charge of the next Battlefield series, and they're going back to Battlefield 3 and Battlefield 4 days. More of a modern
I'm
shooter.
stoked for that.
My ears are perked up, but I've been fooled before, and I'm not going to pre-order that game, and I'm just going to have to wait and see. I'll wait till Skill Up plays it. And see what he thinks of it,
there you go.
I'll let him do the big giant reviews that he likes to do on these games. I've always loved that about him. He does really good game reviews. Very cinematic when he does them. But, you know, I get home and I'm tired. I spend time with the missus. I eat dinner. I take the dogs for a walk. I come in here and settle down for the night. And I'm thinking, okay, do I try to start playing Space Marines and try to learn how to play this game? Or do I run around Skywatch and try to get more stuff toward my Legend title? It's usually a no-brainer because I'm so comfortable. Bungie has gotten me into that routine where I'm very comfortable just they call it chores or whatever you want to call it. I feel like I'm doing something and accomplishing something.
But my question I have for you is it you feel comfortable or do you have a fear of missing out on something?
I don't know, man. I think the FOMO in Destiny is it's still there, but I don't think that the FOMO is as bad as it used to be, like Witch Queen years.
I'll agree to that. Yeah.
Right. I agree with that, but I'm just hearing you talk and I feel like to me, I hear it a little bit that you have a FOMO there. Like you're afraid if you go play Space Marines,
I'm going to miss out on
you're going to miss interacting with the community and something's going to happen and you're going to miss that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Remember, you can sit in a group in Discord while you're playing the game and listen to other people. I do it all the time.
I need to do that more often. That's for sure. But it's just that's the first topic because we kind of talked about it in a couple shows ago, and True Vanguard has this problem right now. He's finally gotten into Space Marines and he's producing good content for it. But I followed True Vanguard ever since Battlefield days. I love watching his stuff in Battlefield. The latest gun, what was working and what wasn't, and that'll tie to your topic next, Fudd. But I really miss that content, and that he was labeled that Destiny PvP guy. That's what he does. That's the content he makes, and I've got to give him kudos. He finally says, you know what, I'm gonna try another game, and so help me God, let's go. Let's see if I can create content for it. But I'm not there yet, man. I'm not there yet.
And that's fine, man.
Still love the Destiny game. I still love playing it.
Yeah.
And I don't know. It's just, that just crossed my mind as a good topic.
Yeah. Well, at the end of the day, as much as I'll make fun of you for only playing Destiny, like it's just fun jabs,
It is.
At the end of the day, life sucks, whatever makes you feel good and comfortable at the end of the day, do that. But it's interesting. There has been this switch, because I know you were kind of alluding to, how many live service games have existed out there and how they're all trying to grab you and stuff. And like, there was a good run of years there where the big thing pushing in these live service games was FOMO, that if you weren't here, you were missing out on X, Y, Z, and it's been interesting, especially this year, seeing a lot of live service games launch and then fail, because a lot of the gaming community is like, that's not what we're after anymore.
Yeah.
So I think the next couple of years is going to be really interesting to watch, especially for you, as you've kind of reached a point where you're like, I'm willing to maybe look into trying some other games where it's not going to be a bunch of, you have to do X, Y, Z. Like, it'll be easier for you to be like, all right, tonight I'm just going to sit down and do a couple missions in Wukong, or, work my way through this or that. Like, I think you've reached a point where it's a very positive point in gaming for you to then step out. Because the last 4 years, which of Destiny were really good.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you tried to step out, I got stuck in a ton of these games that was just like, oh my God, if I'm not, people in my Discord are ahead of me, but I want to play this other game, but I have to do this. So it's like, you're not enjoying yourself when you're grinding these other things, because you want to be doing other things.
Yeah.
And then you're grinding and you're still behind. So it's like, it's a lose-lose.
So maybe you're right, Gator. Maybe it is FOMO a little bit. Maybe I still have FOMO playing Destiny. You know what? That's a good point. This is the way I thought I would fix it. I would just pick one night a week that I was going to start one game. And you know what? If I play it for 1 hour and then say I'm not having fun, I'll go play more Destiny for the remainder of my night. But I need to do that, man. It's such a hard habit to break, because you get so comfortable with the ecosystem and logging in to play Destiny 2 every day. And I think this is probably the fact that the Destiny morale is a little low right now. It's a double-edged sword for me. I actually think it's good that people take a break from Destiny. It's a real low time right now, and they're trying to, let us know what's coming up around the corner, because if they didn't do that last week, people would wonder, why am I still in Destiny playing this game if there's not going to be a Destiny game down the road? And the fact that they verified that they're definitely going headstrong into continued content stuff gives me hope. But yeah, that's where I was at. I know of all the people I can talk to about this, it's you two, because you guys have been able to master that, where you've been able to branch off and play. Because I see you guys in Discord. RNG Gator is playing Mass Effect 3. I'm like, that's Andromeda, right?
No.
No?
Sadly, it's not.
Andromeda
It's still great.
Andromeda is its own game.
Andromeda.
own thing.
I tried Andromeda too, and didn't do it for me.
Don't start.
I'm sorry.
Don't
no
start.
Mass Effect 2. I'm sorry.
Abort. Don't do it.
Don't go down that road.
Don't do it.
Bangladesh,
I will switch my
Bangladesh.
entire segment.
I take it back.
Yeah, don't you
That was
get
close.
fun started.
Oh
on
my
that.
God, dude! I
gonna
felt
need a
my
beer.
blood pressure rising.
I'm gonna need a
Holy
beer tonight.
shit!
I'm gonna need a beer. I can tell you that right now. I'm gonna need a beer.
As soon as you said Andromeda, I'm like, don't go there. Don't go
Don't
there.
do it.
The face
But no, again,
Okay, sorry.
no,
Sorry.
But
Sorry.
to reiterate, like, yeah, if you spend like a night playing something, and again, with most of your lists being single player things,
Yeah, that's
you can
true.
still have your comfortable time in Destiny,
Yeah.
and then if all you do is play other games that are single player, like the thing that'll draw you back is the story. So you can go into that to experience this awesome story. You can learn some new mechanics and stuff, but you still have your comfortable live service Destiny where you're grinding for stuff and
It's not going
that
anywhere.
kind of thing.
It's not going
Yeah,
anywhere.
exactly.
You know, my son, you know the reason I played Doom Eternal? My son forced me to download it on Steam, and he says, I will play it with you. You need to play something else, Dad. And I actually played it. It was fun. The blood splatting everywhere and jumping down, and I caught on pretty quick. I mean, the controls were fairly similar, and I had a good time. But I'm sorry, man. It's still not Destiny. It's still not Destiny. Destiny has spoiled the hell out of me. Destiny has ruined me for playing other games because I'll start playing the game and I'm like, yeah, I've done this before,
Why aren't I floating across here? Yeah.
You're like, it's fun, but I don't really care what this guy's saying in Doom Eternal. I could care less what this guy's saying. And then you go back to Destiny, it's like, Destiny's back. Okay. What are we going to do? Anyway, that was my
First
topic.
thing, get it out while you're playing another game. Get Destiny out of your mind. Quit comparing.
I know.
Don't sit there and go, don't look at play the jaded girlfriend.
I know.
Don't look at your true love behind you going, why aren't you coming in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Give me 5 minutes,
I know, man.
Turn your location off,
Turn your
Exactly.
phone
play
off.
that other game.
Close
Yeah.
Discord. Yeah. Don't want to see what else is doing.
The biggest thing is if you just go into another game with the mindset of I'm just here to have fun in a game, and that changes everything. Because you can have your, like we've been saying, your grinding raids and PvP and going for all the things like you have that in Destiny. There's a lot of other games out there. It's just fun to sit down and be like, yeah, that was a game. Like I just had fun in a video game, and that's awesome. Those are good to have intermixed with whatever you're grinding out.
There's another fear I have. It's not FOMO. You know what that fear is? That I'm
What
going
is
to
it,
play
buddy?
these other games and I'm going to forget about Destiny 2.
Not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not going to happen to you, buddy.
I don't think it'll happen to either. But
No.
that thought's in the back of my head. I'm like, what if I really get into Black Myth Wukong and I don't want to play anything else but Black Myth Wukong?
Well, and that's the thing.
But that's the
Black
thing, though.
Myth Wukong's going to end.
It ends, yeah.
Yeah,
It's like
it
30
ends.
hours or something. I don't know.
Yeah. And then it's over. There's
I love
nothing
boss
else.
fights. Dude, I grew up on boss fights in the arcades. I love boss
Yeah.
fights. I get my ass kicked. Guess what? Start again and let's go. Let's try it again. This time, don't dash that time when he heads toward you. You need to go the other way and parry. Yeah, I know. It's...
Sure, but it'll always be there for you.
I know. I just need to remember that.
It's not going nowhere.
Yeah. All right. Thanks, guys. I feel better.
Yeah, man, of course.
I feel better.
You look better.
Just send me the bill for the therapy. I'll Venmo you the money, man.
Baby, this one was on the house.
I feel like this was an intervention more than it was a roundtable discussion.
I'm sure you're all wondering why randomly we were all brought cupcakes and all your favorite people, but
Yeah. KJ in chat just said they just released an 8 terabyte SSD for the PS5. How much is that? How much is that 8 terabyte SSD there,
Ouch.
KJ? I wanted to get a 2 terabyte one. It was a middle of the road, like a Samsung. $279. That's why I'm probably going to get a PS5 Pro because it already comes with a 2 terabyte.
dude, did you see the you see
the collector edition?
the
Destiny
PlayStation
one?
30
Don't-
year, no, the 30-year
no.
PlayStation
That-
one?
dude, no,
Where it's got the colors of everything
Dude,
of
you
the
know,
first PlayStation.
you know the bots are going to buy all those, and they're going to be on eBay for like $1,000 each, or maybe even $1,500 each. There's no.
Well,
way
they're going to
no.
be $1,000 out the gate anyway, but
No.
Well, I mean, you do know. I heard
I have my point where it's just not worth it. As badass as that looks, the gray ones.
I heard you talking about hard drives and everything in the last episode.
Yeah.
And you can replace your hard drive inside the PlayStation.
Oh, it's one Phillips.
That's what
that's it.
Yeah, that's what
It's
he just went and bought another NVM.
But here's the thing. I've got a day one Gator. I've got a day one PS5. A friend of my daughter's got it. Don't ask me how. He probably was using bots. I don't know. Back when it was really tough to get, back in 2021, I think. So this is a 3-year-old console already. So I got to think about it. Do I invest more money, $300 into an SSD that'll double my size, or do I just spend the 800 or 700? Forget the stand and all the CD drive. I was talking to my guest last week, and I said, you know what? I already have a Blu-ray drive. It's in my PS4 in the other room. I got a Blu-ray drive. Well, I don't need one here. And here's the thing. I bought Western Digital. Okay, $999
for that.
$1,000? No,
that's insane.
I'm sorry.
That's ridiculous.
I'm sorry. I mean, that's
buy
great.
a pre-built
8
PC
terabytes
for that
awesome.
price.
I could put every game in my library on it for 8 terabytes.
Yeah.
But I mean, But you wanted me to play No Build Fortnite one night, so I downloaded Fortnite. It was 70 gigs of RAM. It was 70 gigs of memory. I'm like, wasn't this an online game? Why is it so big?
There's all the extra, Well, and that's another interesting topic for another time. Is how everyone makes their game huge, so you only have room for their game.
Well, actually, my last topic before we go tonight, we'll kind of brush on that. I'll get to it later, but well, hey, speaking of which, thanks guys, thanks for indulging me on that. Thanks chat for listening to my my therapy session tonight. I appreciate it.